So I know I promised you guys that I would get you a very clear recording of the 8-player mission in the last God Eater video. I changed my settings around. I made sure that we could record 1080p 60 FPS clearly. I was able to achieve that. So I ended up live streaming on YouTube. Some of you showed up and we fought this 8-player boss quite a few times. Then some of you guys let me know that the stream was being really laggy, and on my end it was saying that my stream was having a good connection. So it turns out having the recording settings up so high to record clear footage works, but it does not work while I'm streaming. Therefore, the video came out looking like this. So I decided that today, which is the next day, I would record it for you guys just for YouTube without live streaming. But it turns out that the demo is no longer playable in Japan, so I cannot record it. So I feel like shit. With that being said, I'll definitely give you my thoughts on it and try to use some footage if I can find it floating around somewhere on YouTube, just to show you guys what the boss looked like. So instead of this video just being about that mission, it will be about my first impressions based off of this demo and playing it for quite a few hours, and if I think the game is worth buying and my plans for the game. So God Eater, some of you guys don't even know what this game is or what it's about. The best way to sum it up, if you've ever played Monster Hunter, it is very similar. You have a central hub, you pick up missions, you go out into the field, you slay a giant beast. But God Eater has more story to it. It even has an anime, which I heard was just for promotion. I like to think that it's a bit more than that. Some people like it, some people don't because it's heavily CGI. Anyway, the story is a big part of this game. Now, even though we can compare it to Monster Hunter and other co-op slaying games like Dauntless, it's very different in a lot of ways, or at least with its mechanics. If you're one that's played 1 or 2, God Eater 3 feels like a huge step up. I never beat God Eater 2, I just kind of lost interest because it got really boring, but I'm actually trying to go back into it. I started playing it again yesterday with a group of friends. The only shit thing is the PC port is kind of bad. We've got disconnected multiple times. We keep getting stuck in a loading screen and have to close out the game, relaunch, and repeat the last mission because it doesn't save. It's getting to a point where we don't even want to continue with this game. But let's hope that the PC port for God Eater 3 won't be like this. Either way, I'll be getting it on PS4 for many reasons. But compared to 1 and 2, the combat feels a lot better, a lot smoother. Running is faster, the movement is better, obviously the graphics got a huge upgrade. God Eater 2 had pretty good customization, obviously the graphics or look of your character wasn't in the best place, and in God Eater 3 it just continues. You have lots of different customization options, but no, you can't really mess with the body. That hasn't been a thing. God Eater 3 also introduces new weapons. Reading through some of your comments and also personal thoughts, I do think these types of games get boring. Games where you go out and you hunt the same monster over and over for materials to craft armor or to craft a weapon. They're fun for a bit, but it gets boring. It gets to a point where I can't continue playing this game for months, you know? I burn out very easily. When I was younger and I used to play games like Monster Hunter, for some reason I was able to put thousands of hours into games like these. But right now, I burn out when it comes to this formula. But with God Eater 3, something about it, I feel like this will keep me around a bit longer than other games that follow this monster slaying formula. Because I haven't played one where the combat feels this smooth, where the movement feels this smooth, and where things just feel this badass. The animations and impact of when you attack the monsters, it just feels so good compared to any other slaying game I've ever played. The demo didn't really get boring because for me it felt like I was learning new weapons or continuing to try new things in preparation for the actual game. But once the actual game comes out, I can definitely see how repeating the same mission will eventually get boring, but we'll have access to a lot more missions and story in the actual game. So if you are one that gets burnt out on this Monster Hunter formula, I can't guarantee that you won't get burnt out. In fact, I think you will get burnt out with this game, but I think this one you'll find more interesting than the others. They gave more options when it comes to devouring monsters, and if you guys are confused on what this is what gives you a buff. You take a buff from the monster when you devour them, but the monsters can also do this to you, and that's how they go into rage or berserk mode in God Eater 3. I don't know if this was the same for 1 and 2, but it is for 3, and it's kind of cool. The areas in 3 are much bigger compared to the past games. God Eater 3 compared to the previous games of the series, it's like going from a Nokia 6010 with Snake to a current gen iPhone or Android. Trying to play 2 the other day was like, oh my god, this is just so bad compared to 3. But for myself, I'm looking forward to this. Even though I know I get burnt out on this formula, I'm willing to try it, and I don't think I'm going to get burnt out on this as easily as I do with others. Do I think this will be a game that I'll play for years to come? Doubtful. But I do think I will stick around in this game for a while until the next big thing comes out, you know, Code Vein or another big title to put hundreds of hours into. But who knows, they may have DLC and updates that keep this game going, that keep it interesting. I'll definitely be buying it, that's 100% sure, and I'll be getting it for PS4 to make sure that I don't have to deal with any online issues or any of these PC port issues that I've experienced in the last game, because it's been out for so long and the issues are still there, and that just makes no sense to me. But do I recommend playing 2? Yeah, so you can get used to it, and maybe you'll really like the story, so maybe you should play 1 as well. My advice is to not buy the game on Steam because it's almost at full price, which makes no sense. You can get it on other websites for like $2 to $4, just like you could if you were to go into a game store and get a used PlayStation copy. You get it for more than half off. This makes absolutely no sense to me, so do not spend retail price on this old PC port with issues. But yeah, God Eater 3 seems super fun. All my friends that played it really enjoyed it, even my friends that aren't a fan of these anime-like or themed games, or even the monster slaying formula, they're sold. This game will come out in Japan in December, and it's supposed to release for us in 2019, and I'm assuming it's going to be early 2019, maybe a month or 2 afterwards. If we find out that it's going to be 3 or 4 months afterwards, I'm probably going to buy the Japanese version just so I can experience it, put some videos out there for you guys, and because I'm not really bothered by Japanese games or any other language games when it comes to this subgenre, because honestly it's really easy to navigate through menus or to just navigate through the game even with a language barrier. And if I ever get stuck, well, there's Google Translate on my phone. But with that being said, God Eater 3, I highly recommend you guys play it. If another demo comes out, if they allow us to play it before the game launches, I recommend you download it. It's very easy. Just make a Japanese PSN account, which can be done in 5 minutes. And the 8-player mission, speaking on it because I really didn't talk about it much, I wouldn't say it was really difficult with his mechanics, but if the monster got a hit on you, it did maybe 75% of your health. So you would get 2-shotted, and a lot of people were dying in my party, but I thought the fight was really cool. The design of the monster, he looked like Ouroboros from Resident Evil 5 with all the tentacles coming out of his arm. And then once he went into rage mode, he just got really, really crazy. But the mission only lasted 5 minutes, and then you get a mission retreat. Honestly, I hope it's a demo thing. And oh my god, why do you keep saying monsters? They are origami. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But with that being said, guys, good game. Had a good time. Will be buying this game. And, you know, if you're a fan of this subgenre, then I think you'll like it. So I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. See you soon, friends.